Namaste, hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Bollywood Talkies. Just in case you guys forgot, my name is Minnie, and I am so excited to start this podcast journey with you all. You know, I think this moment definitely calls for some coconut breaking, but I don't really want to buy a whole coconut, so let's just pretend that we body slam the coconut onto the ground, okay? So get comfortable, make yourself some chai, coffee, or even a protein shake, and let's get right into it. Now, before I start talking on and on about the movies and the celebrities, I thought it would be nice to introduce myself and for you guys to get to know me a little. So let's start with the basics, shall we? My name is actually Meenakshi, but because a lot of people struggled with pronouncing my name correctly, I just keep it easy and go by Minnie. I'm currently 21 years old and was born and raised in the Caribbean, and my birthday is December 25th. Yes, that is Christmas Day, and no, I don't get 2 gifts. So when I announced the starting of this podcast on social media, I asked you guys to send in some questions that you wanted me to answer about myself, and we got quite a few interesting ones. So let's get into the first question. If you had to meet any Bollywood movie star, who would it be? Okay, listen. Those that know me know that Alia Bhatt is my queen. But those that really know me know that the King Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, is the first man I fell in love with and is the main reason I am so passionate about the Indian industry. In fact, my first few memories of Bollywood have been K3G, Veer Zara, Kal Ho Na Ho. So yes, my first proper celebrity meet has to be His Royal Highness Shah Rukh Khan. Alrighty, next question. If you got a chance to remix one Bollywood character, which one would it be? Well, I don't know about remix, but if there is one character that I would want to play, it would have to be Meeta from Hasi to Fuzzy, played by Parineeti Chopra. Mostly because I have watched that movie so many times that at this point, I can very easily be Meeta. Okay? This next question is really easy. Who is that one director you would drop everything to work with? Karan Johar. Period. See, I have been raised with Dharma films, and I have always considered myself as a Dharma kid. So even if he asks me to be a tree in his next film, I will immediately say yes. And I will be the best tree you guys have ever seen. As a matter of fact, I realized that if I'm not going to be meeting Karan Johar anytime soon, I might as well be Karan Johar. Which is another reason why I started this podcast. And the last question, which is so interesting and hella controversial. Who are 3 actors you would want to be stuck in an elevator with? And since I get to choose, I'ma say Alia, because of course, her husband Ranbir, and Siddharth Malhotra. Because look, I am a fan of the Student of the Year trio, the OG Student of the Year trio. And I have stood with them since 2012. And yes, I shipped Sid Leah. So I think being in an elevator with the 3 of them will start a really interesting conversation. So somebody find me that elevator and put me right in it. Well, I hope my listeners got to know me a little better, and I promise that we will do more of these Q&As down the line. Now, I think it's time to get down to business and discuss the first movie of the season. So, a couple of weeks ago, I watched the movie Jersey, which featured Shahid Kapoor and Mrunal Thakur in the lead, along with Papa Pankaj Kapoor. And before I talk about the chemistry between Shahid and Mrunal, we need to talk about Pankaj Kapoor and Shahid Kapoor working together. Now, for those of you that are wondering about the importance of this, well, Pankaj Kapoor is the father of Shahid Kapoor, even though they spell Kapoor in 2 different ways, which has always had me confused. So if someone knows why they do that, please let me know. Okay? So this isn't the first time the father and son have worked together. We have seen them on screen together in Shandar back in 2015, and Papa Pankaj has also directed Shahid in Mausam, which released in 2011. But here in Jersey, Papa Pankaj plays Shahid's cricket coach, and their relationship in this film is a lot more personal. The coach is more of a father figure to Shahid's character, and he guides him in every phase of his life. And maybe, just maybe, they're able to portray that relationship so well on screen because they're already father and son. I mean, it's either that or they're just really good actors. Nah, it's the first one. But hey, I would love to see them working together again. Maybe in opposite characters where they play enemies or something. Now that would be interesting, right? Okay, now let's shine some light on Mrunal. I have seen Mrunal's work since her early television days, even before Kumkum Bhagya, and I have to say that the growth this woman has made is incredible. I think this is going to be her 10th year as an actor, not specifically to the film industry, but in general. And honestly, I am so proud of her. It's so nice to see people grow in this kind of field, being able to portray different kinds of characters, and the way Mrunal was able to do that so nicely is absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously she's got more to do, being more than just somebody's love interest, especially in the commercial side of Bollywood. I think it would be refreshing to see her in more roles like what she did in Love Sonia, but also some classic filmy roles, where she has more to her character. So yes, I'm rooting for her, and I look forward to see her development in the industry. But getting back to her role in Jersey, her character Vidya is shown in two ways. One as the girlfriend before the marriage, and then as the wife. And as a girlfriend, Vidya is all that you'd want in a partner. She's super supportive, she's there for her man at all times, and she loves with all her heart. So yeah, there were lots of cute moments. But then as a wife, Vidya is practical. She's trying to financially support her little family, and at times she comes off as rude and arrogant, and those moments definitely had me heated, because why would someone behave rudely to their partner, right? But there was a complete shift in the character's personality, and the fact that Mrunal was able to portray both sides of Vidya is commendable. And I think that already goes to show you that she has that kind of potential in her. Making the audience have two different feelings for two different personalities of just one character. I don't know if that made sense grammatically, but I guess that's when you know that you're watching a good actor do their thing. I'm excited to see more of Mrunal in the industry. In case y'all didn't know, she already has some projects in the pipeline. Some are done, some are in the works, some are Hindi, and she's even got a Telugu project as well. But in the next 1 to 2 years, we will be seeing her with actors like Rashmika Mandana, Ishan Khattar, Dulquer Salman, Abhimanyu Dasani, and Aditya Roy Kapoor. So we're going to be getting a good amount of Mrunal, and I am looking forward to it. Now, what do I say about Shahid Kapoor? This man is absolutely amazing, and I have to say that Shahid has a special place in my love for Bollywood. And I may not be one of his biggest fans, but I will always be there for his projects. He's so dedicated to his characters, and you could see that in his works. He really takes his time to, get into the headspace of his characters and literally adopts their personalities as his own, which is the main thing I love about him. I mean, and his dancing. But listen, I'm not pulling this out of the air. You can see it in his previous works, like, obviously Kabir Singh, Heather, or Ta Punjab. But in Jersey, though, in the start of the film, his character, Arjun Talwar, feels a little similar to Kabir Singh, which is a little confusing and slightly underwhelming. But as the storyline moved on, we got to understand more of Arjun's personality and his backstory, and we eventually saw who Arjun Talwar really is and why he is the way he is. So I think the beginning portion was on the director more than it was on the actor. And, that's something I feel like we as the audience need to realize, that what we see on screen is not always what the actors are doing, but it's also how the scenes are directed, It's up to the director what the audience should be seeing. But hey, at the end of the day, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I'm just stating my 2 cents. But getting back to the movie, I think Shahid did a great job as Arjun Talwar. He definitely had me hooked throughout the whole movie, especially in the second half of the film. He had this amazing chemistry with Mrunal. Their on-screen relationship felt so real. And I think the two characters really meshed well and sort of completed each other, if that makes sense. I think Shahid and Mrunal seem to have worked well with each other, and maybe they should work together again. And like I mentioned before, him working with his dad was really very sweet and was so nice to see. Shahid is an extremely talented actor, but I do hope we get to see him in different and, maybe brighter roles. More comedy, happy, and filmy stuff. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen him do projects like that, and I think revisiting the past a little would be a bit refreshing. Come to think about it, you really can't satisfy an audience, always going back to what the person is not doing. But I'm here for Shahid, regardless. Looking at the film overall, I thought it was sweet. I will have to say that it felt a little slow at times in terms of the plot, and some people may not enjoy that aspect. But there is a sort of a major twist, which no one would really expect, unless you watch the original Telugu version, which is a topic that we will talk about for sure, because I have opinions to share. But Jersey has a great message, and honestly, it touched my heart. I was able to relate to the story, to Arjun's character, which is probably why I was able to connect with the film in a deeper way. That being said, I don't think Jersey is the kind of movie that you can be excited for, in terms of plot. I feel like it's the kind of movie that you have to watch emotionally, so you can really understand the moral of the whole thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the film on the big screen as it wasn't available to do so where I am, but thank God for streaming platforms. I like to believe that watching the film at home by myself sort of added to the emotional experience. And I would like to mention that out of the entire soundtrack, Jindamiriye was a personal favorite, mostly because of the lyrics, but it's a beautiful song. But hey, I like Jersey. Whatever I said was out of complete honesty and a personal opinion. And if you've watched Jersey, do share your opinions with me via social media. As I mentioned, we will be discussing Bollywood. Okay, speaking of Bollywood and opinions, can we please talk about the kind of track that the industry is currently on? Don't feel too confused, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. See, recently I read that the movie franchises Bhool Bhulaiya and Kabir Singh are working on a next part for both films. Apparently we may have a Bhool Bhulaiya 3 and a Kabir Singh 2 coming up. And honestly, I don't like the way this is going. So let's talk about sequels today. I think we can all agree when I say that the early 2000s had good sequels for certain movie franchises, and the kind of success and thrill those films used to have, we don't see that anymore. And honestly, some movies do not need sequels. But if sequels have to be made, I think they should fall in line with the first parts, in terms of storylines, the direction, and of course, the actors. Let's look at some of the movie franchises with both good and bad sequels. Starting with the Doom series. Doom 1 and 2, featuring John Abraham and Hrithik Roshan, ticked all of the boxes of a well-done film. Doom 3, though? Let's be honest, it was not all that. Everyone knew that one of the main reasons the film did not reach the intended Doom level was the casting. Choosing Amir Khan to play the robber in part 3 was not a good idea, especially having two of him. Amir is a great actor, but he wasn't meant for that role. In the recent times, we also had Bunty or Bubbly 2, which released in 2021, 16 years after the first part. I would have to say that the casting was decent in the second part, and that's only because Saif and Rani are one of my favorite on-screen pairs. But the storyline and the direction could have been so much better, and maybe releasing it a whole decade and a half after the first release was not helpful. See, films from the early 2000s were iconic, so expecting for their sequels made in today's times to reach that kind of success and popularity is risky and would not really work. But hey, I'm not saying that all sequels do bad. Bhool Bhulaiya did well at the box office, and the reviews explained that it was appreciated by the audience. I'm not gonna lie, it did spook me a little, but I thought it was pretty good. Maybe because it was the storylines and the characters, were still different between the first and the second part. But do we really want a third part? And as for Kabir Singh, it said that the makers want to take the character further and start a franchise. But I don't think a film and a character like Kabir Singh should have an extended play. Some films need to be left with the one part that was made. But I will say that if the makers do want to make more of this, they should really take influence from the Race series and create spin-offs or continuations. Maybe Kabir assumes Preeti is cheating or something. Or better yet, make Preeti the Kabir Singh. Give her character a little spicy personality. But I would like to clarify that when I talk about the Race series, I don't consider Race 3 as part of that amazing franchise. I said what I said. So, what do you guys think? Let's discuss. Are you for or against parts 2 and 3 for Kabir Singh and Bhool Bhulaiya? And what are some films that you do and do not want sequels for? Leave your comments on my social media and I will mention some of them in the next episode. Oof, all this talk about Jersey and sequels made me lose all track of time. So remember when I said that we will be discussing Bollywood? Well, I decided to invite someone really special for this first episode who should be here any minute now. But until then, I'm gonna share a little bit about this person with you guys. I will start off by saying I call her Lady Grace, and I think everyone that knows her will agree with me when I say that she delivers perfection effortlessly. We all know that she does work hard to do the best, but anytime you come across her final products, it all feels too natural. See, for her, the sky is definitely the limit. I feel lucky to know her. So she is here. So guys, let's welcome the amazingly talented and beautiful Viditha Vishwas. Hi Vidhi.
Hi, just give me a minute because I'm blushing. I'm not as perfect as you think. It's just that I just don't share the discarded draft. But anyway, thank you for that introduction. I feel great to be here, and this is obviously my first time as well. So let's see.
Well, you're perfect for us and that's how we like to keep it.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you, Minnie. Thank you.
Well, how excited are you to do this today? I know I am.
I definitely am excited because I am a very opinionated person, but I'm very scared to give my opinions because I don't understand how people will take it. Everybody's opinion is different and they are free to have their opinion. Just because they are giving an opinion does not mean that they're imposing their opinion on you. It's up to you if you want to take it or not. I'm that kind of a person who's kind of scared to talk about anything. But I always wanted to, but I never had the guts to do it online. So this is my first time talking openly, like publicly about something with you. So I'm very excited, but equally nervous as well.
It's okay. No problem. We will keep everything within your forte, as they say. Alrighty. So, when I was brainstorming ideas for the first episode and the setup of the podcast, I sort of knew that I did want to have guests on my show. People that are enthusiasts of Indian entertainment, especially Indian content creators. And I kind of wanted to discuss the inspiration and the influence they get from movies and TV. So where do you fall on that inspiration range? How much of an influence does Indian entertainment have on your content and maybe even your life?
I think I don't get inspired by movies in my life. Because I always feel that Bollywood romanticizes a lot and they have some expectation that actually does not happen in real life. I have learned this lesson way too long ago, so I do not take inspiration from Bollywood to my life. But definitely 95% of my content is based on Bollywood movies and what I have learned from it. Especially Bollywood music. It's definitely a big part of my life. Whatever happens in my life, I try to connect it with one or the other song, a Bollywood song, and try to vibe with it. Even if it's a sad song and I have to cry, I try to vibe with the Bollywood music. So yeah, Bollywood has been a part of my life, but not uh, it's not a path that I follow. I mean, I don't expect my life or romantic life or career to be in the direction of Bollywood movies. But yeah, content definitely yes. Bollywood has inspired 95% of my content. Yes.
Since you say that, I think we have to talk about the current series that you're doing on Instagram, Untitled, very popular amongst all your followers. So, how much of that is Bollywood? How much of that is real life?
Um, I wouldn't say it is not connected to my real life. I haven't, admitted this publicly, but I think it's better to say it right now. But not everything is exactly how I'm portraying in videos because, I'm making episodes of it. So every episode should have a plot and a cliffhanger, which will lead to another episode. And then it also, have to go in hand with the music that I choose. So, considering all these things, I do have to change the plot sometimes, which is not at all related to my real life story. But in reality, whatever has happened with me, that also was kind of inspired by Bollywood movies because initially I used to think like, ladka ladki, and they fall in love, and obviously there will be a bump in the road, and then you have to just go through it, and everything will be fine. It's just happy ending. That's how we expect in our real life, and that's exactly what I did. But when that did not happen, I was so lost. Like this was not supposed to happen like this. I mean, I thought it would take that turn, but it's like completely in other direction. What do I do right now? So that's when I realized that okay, this is not a movie; it's real life. In movie, I mean, both the actor and the actress will somehow at one point be interested to make this happen in real life, and they make this a priority and work towards it. But in real life, you never know who actually your Raj is. You may think this, temporary crush that you're talking to is Raj of your life, but but as harsh as it sounds, you're not the Simran in his life. So maybe he's just moving on to the next person, and you're just waiting for him to be the Raj. That's exactly what happens in real life. So I just wanted to make this a point through my series. So that's how.
Well, I think it's nice to hear that, not everything is completely fictional and, there is some truth to it. But now let's talk about the social media part of it. How does it feel seeing the reviews that people leave in your comments, along with, the constant demand for new episodes?
It feels really amazing because I did not expect this kind of reaction from the audience, because there was a point right after like second episode, people thought it would be a mainstream fairy tale happy ending wala series, and people expected me to take it that way, and they were so happy with this. So I was very scared of disappointing them in future. So there was a point when I spoke to my father, and he said, as a writer, you should go ahead with what you had originally planned. If you think about people's feedback in such a way that you mold yourself into what people want you to be, then what's the originality of it? So that's what he said, and that's when I decided that whatever happens, I'm going to stick to the storyline and show them the point that I want to convey. Then I realized that I don't have to explain it every time. They are getting it, and they're as excited as I am. So they are trying to, tell me that I understand it, and I relate it big time. It happens in my life. So I understand it. Whatever happens, whoever says whatever, please do it for me. I am waiting for this. So that makes me feel like, okay, even when some days I'm very demotivated, these comments just keep me motivated, and so I'm very happy that they're liking it.
And I think, as you said, it helps that they're able to, relate to the story, that, they find themselves somewhere playing those characters. Like, yeah, that happened to me once. That's why I'm able to relate to it. But now, hypothetically speaking, if you were able to bring these characters to life, if you were given the chance to sort of publish this series, if it was to be made in a Bollywood film or, like a new series or something, would you let it happen? And who would you want to give the control to in terms of direction?
Okay, I have never thought about this because it's not something you make a movie out of, because again, it's not a movie. That's the tagline, right? It's not a movie, it's real life. But if somebody could make it a little more spicy or a little more interesting for the big screen, I think, and I'm just shooting a very long shot, but yeah, I think I would want Imtiaz Ali to do it, because he is one of the directors that has inspired me throughout. I like the depth in each character that plays in Imtiaz Ali's movies. So I think he would be able to choose the perfect actor or the actress to play this kind of content. So I think I would rely on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so these days, what are you watching? Films, series, what songs are you obsessed with? What is going on in your Indian entertainment life?
I am very, very, very free right now. So whichever Bollywood movie comes into the theater, I'm just going and watching it. Recently, I've watched Bhool Bhulaiya 2. I've watched Anek. So I've been watching that. But there was a series called She on Netflix. And I thought, just like another series, they're just going to make one season and leave it like that and never make the second season. So I was never even anticipating or expecting the second season to come. But very, very, very quickly, I think in a matter of some months, they came up with the second season and they released it. I think in 3 nights, I finished watching 7 episodes, because it's so interesting. When there was a news that second season is coming out, that's when I realized it's Imtiaz Ali's work. I was like, oh my god, like wow, I didn't even realize it. Like without even realizing that it was his work, I was so interested in the first season. So now I had to watch the second season. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this. So yeah, I watched the second season. It's amazing. So yeah, She is one of the series I would definitely recommend everybody to watch.
Well, folks, you heard it here. Viditha Vishwas says to watch She on Netflix. So make sure you add it to your list right away and get to watching if you have the time. Now, coming back to, opinions and stuff, as you mentioned, what is your unpopular opinion on the Indian entertainment? What is your hot take on Bollywood?
I feel, Bollywood is famous for its genre, it's a Bollywood movie, like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Like, you introduce Bollywood to any foreigner, what they first want to watch is Shah Rukh Khan movies. Because that's a genre in itself, Bollywood movie. So I'm not saying that kind of storyline or that kind of, that kind of romantic story would be popular right now at this generation. Of course not, it won't be. If you just introduce a toxic guy like Rahul in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, people are going to just,
go mad.
Go against it. Yeah, definitely that kind of storyline and that kind of characters will not play in Bollywood right now. But I feel Bollywood definitely has to stick to that genre, that, the Bollywood Bollywood pun, whatever you call it.
The filmy kind
exactly.
of stuff.
But what Bollywood is doing is that it's trying to copy, like it's trying to, somehow be like Hollywood or the South Indian movies. It's kind of shifting it in that kind of, direction and expecting people to accept it. Just don't try to be like Hollywood, because at the end you will be neither Bollywood nor Hollywood, just somewhere in between. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Well, Bollywood, we have opinions and we need answers. So, but honestly, if one day I meet somebody from the industry and I do get to have like a great conversation with them, I will ask them about this, because as I said, we need answers. But come to think about it, I would love for that person to be Karan Johar. I just feel like we would have a really great conversation. And speaking of Karan Johar, as I said, I may not be able to meet him anytime soon, so I might as well be him. And in true Karan Johar style, I have a Bollywood quiz and I have a rapid fire. So you get to choose. Which one do you want to do first? Because you have to do both.
I think we'll go ahead with Bollywood quiz first.
Okay, so there are 5 questions, nothing too difficult. And let's just see how well do you know Bollywood. So are you ready for the first question?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. Question 1. What is the name of Geet's cousin in Jab We Met?
Roop?
Yes, that is correct. Yay. Alrighty, next question. You have to say this within half a second because I know you know this. Where does Ved first meet Tara in Tamasha?
Corsica.
Yes, that is correct. Where's Corsica? Bonus point. Where is Corsica?
I really don't know. I really have no idea.
Okay, Corsica is in France.
Oh, okay. I never even knew about the place Corsica.
Well, it's time to put that on our bucket list. We have to go Corsica.
Yes, we did.
Perfect. Okay, in which movie does the following dialogue feature in? The dialogue is Adrak ho gaya hai ye aadmi. Kahin se bhi बढ़ रहा है.
Tanu vets Manu returns.
Absolutely correct. See, you're doing better. You're doing better than you thought. Okay, guess the movie based on the featured cast.
Okay.
Ranbir Kapoor, Anushka Sharma, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Fawad Khan.
Edile mushkil. Oh my god, it's so easy.
Okay, and last one, which is a little easy as well, but it's a fun question. In the song Pappu Can't Dance, what is the color of Pappu's eyes?
Oh my god. Pappu eyes.
Yeah, I think you have to sing the song.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to find the first line of the song. Okay, aake. I don't know. I'm not even remembering the first line of the song.
If it helps, Pappu
light
dikhta
green.
Angrez hai. No. You're close though.
Light
It is
blue.
light. Light blue.
Yeah,
Light blue. That's the
light blue.
answer.
Oh.
That's the answer. Yes.
I was just trying to, rhyme it with something. So I said green.
No.
Okay.
It's blue. Light blue. Because they sing Pappu ki aankhein light blue. Pappu dikhta angrez hai.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yes. Alrighty, that brings us to the end of Bollywood quiz. So you clearly know Bollywood very well. Now, coming back to the maker of Edile Mushkil, Karan Johar, in true Karan Johar style, we now have the rapid fire because you chose to do the Bollywood quiz first. So let's do rapid fire.
And just
7 questions.
Just don't hate me if I'm not rapid enough.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's no problem. As long as it's full of fire, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, okay.
But again, it's nothing too personal. We're not trying to get into your personal life. This is just your Bollywood life, okay?
Definitely. Okay.
So, first question. Which Bollywood character are you most like?
There's a slideshow in my head right now. Maybe I could just say the first name Tara from Tamasha.
Tara from Tamasha. Okay,
Yeah.
Tara from Tamasha. Perfect. Second question. Which actor do you find overrated?
Ooh, shit. I think Sara Ali Khan on top of my head because I feel a lot of people are overrated. But yeah, right now I would just say Sara Ali Khan because she's the first one I thought of. Yeah.
Okay, Sara Ali Khan. Who from the industry do you think you can be best friends with?
Katrina Kaif. I love her. I mean, I love her. I mean, she's so... I just don't have words because I love her because she's so considerate about others. So I think I would be friends with her. She's nice.
We're looking forward to that kind of friendship. So whenever you do become best friends with Katrina, let us know, okay? Okay, a song. Any song, not necessarily Bollywood, that currently describes your life right now.
Okay, to be very honest, there is a song in Hera Fairy which says Dene wala jab bhi deta chhappad paar ke. I think that's the thing because I'll not go into details of it. I've been so lost through these years. But right now, to be very honest, I have so many opportunities. It's just me who has to decide where I want to go. Like, dene wala jab bhi dega, deta chappar phar ke. That's exactly what's happening. So, yeah.
Well, we're happy that you are being lucky right now, and we hope that the luck continues. And like the rapid fire, we will continue as well. If you had the ability to influence your love life, which Indian movie or series plot would you want your love story to be like?
Okay. I'm not even remembering any good love romantic plot. I don't even have anything in my mind because all my favorite movies have such failed love life. I don't know
No,
why.
I mean it's
I don't know why
real.
that's my
It's real
type.
because
Maybe
not
I don't
everything
know,
has
man.
a happy ending, but
I don't know why I'm just thinking of Aitra's movie. So I think that kind of relationship I would want to have, trust in
so
each other.
somebody to
And
stand with you, like the loyalty throughout.
exactly, yeah.
That makes sense. That
I don't
makes
know
sense.
why I mentioned that movie, but yeah, let me have
It's okay.
trustworthy, healthy relationship with someone. Yeah,
Yes, that I think that's the main point.
yeah.
Okay, which celebrity couple do you love, and which celebrity couple do you tolerate?
I love Katrina and Vicky. To be honest, I was not a very big fan of Vicky Kaushal. I was like, okay, he's there, fine. I watched Uri, I watched Masan, okay, fine. He exists. He just existed for me. But since the rumors of their wedding came out, I was like, Katrina and Vicky, how? So I started reading about it, and obviously there wasn't much of their relationship news because they kept it very mysterious, right? Until they got actually married. So I was like trying to find about them, and I kind of found it cute that they are not making it public. They want their privacy. Okay. So December 9th, I was actually waiting. Was it true that they were gonna get married or not? I was actually like waiting. Okay, was it just a rumor? I was actually disappointed that there were no pictures. And once she just posted the picture, I was like, so cute. So I just love them. And obviously I like Anushka and Virat as well. Yeah, which couple I tolerate? Should I say it? Should I say it?
This
I
is
really-
unfiltered. Go for it.
Yeah, I really don't like Ranveer and Alia. But not because you said you love Alia and not Ranveer. But I like Ranveer and not Alia. I mean, I love her as an actor, but not her as a person. So I feel like, I just don't feel they both look good together. It's just, she's just too young for him, maybe. I just don't feel they look good together. That's it. That's it.
Honestly, I am so glad that this is a podcast and no one else but you can see my reactions at the moment because I think the exact same thing. I love Alia, I think, as I said, anybody that knows me knows that, Alia is my queen. I love everything about her. So when I found out that not only did she break up with Siddharth Malhotra, I was heartbroken, but she also started dating Ranbir. I was like, oh, honey, I love you, but not everything. So, but I'm not going to lie, they, as long as she's happy, as long as he's happy, I think that's what should matter to them. That should matter to us, the most. Their happiness, and I think if they're happy, then it makes me happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
so yeah, I'm just that's why I'm saying I'm tolerating them. I'm like, okay, fine. If you're happy, fine. Good for you. Yeah.
They're happy, we're happy. And the last question, if you could change one thing about the industry, what would it be and why?
Yeah, as we discussed, I think I would just make it a rule that nothing should be remade. Everything original and new.
Perfect. Well, Vidhi, this brings us to the end of our rapid fire and the end of our guest segment and the end of our first episode. So I want to thank you, Vidhi, for taking out the time to be my first guest on this podcast journey. It truly means so much to me, you really can't even imagine. And I honestly can't wait to see what you do next. And I just want to wish you all the very best for your future and whatever else you're doing, whether it be career, hobbies, passion, whatever it is. I wish you all the best. And I'm here for you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. As I said, I had been, so lost about how to take my life forward. And this was one of the ideas that I got that, I'll make review videos on YouTube and just post them. But as I said, I was very nervous and very scared of giving my opinion publicly. But yeah, doing this, I think I like doing it. So I would love to come for another episode and talk about something else. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, seriously. And for the listeners, thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of the show. I look forward to hearing and reading your thoughts. Also, do let me know what I should talk about next. And if you'd like, send in your movie series or song recommendations. And I will be back with another episode real soon. So stay tuned. Take a look on our social media on Instagram at Bollywood Talkies with an extra S because we are extra. Until then, this is Minnie signing off. Namaste, goodbye, and thank you for listening to Bollywood Talkies.